samskaras. Samskara means, now you don't need to pen down, just imbibe first. The thoughts which goes on in you again and again like an unconscious pattern makes you do things even though you know they are not going to fulfill your mission. Even the actions, activities which are not going to fulfill your life's purpose. A simple example I can give is smoking and drinking. You know the habit of smoking not only is not going to fulfill your mission, it is not going to allow you to remain healthy to fulfill your mission. All of you understand? So, fulfilling your mission, fulfilling your life's purpose, main thing you need to understand, please. Sometimes you are ready to even forego fulfillment of your life due to patterns. Samskaras. I think all of you are able to understand the concept samskaras. Thoughts, ideas, which stays inside you, makes you do many actions, even if you know it will not fulfill your life. That is patterns, samskaras. Second step, second important thing you need to know. These patterns remain in you at different level. Some are like a liquid, easy to handle. Just the habit of coffee. Some are like solid, like frozen ice, difficult to break, like habit of drinking. There are some which are impossible to break. They have become like ice stone. That constant agitation, that kind of patterns you can see. They become like ice stone inside you. When a pattern starts in your life, for example, you start smoking at the beginning level. You may smoke 3-4 cigarettes a day. Very royal. Just not as addiction, but just to show you are a hero. I have seen one of my own master, great yogi, his name is Ram Surat Kumar. His samadhi is here. This yogi, great yogi, he will smoke very royally. When you start the habit, it is only like a water in you. It's only like a pattern developing. But after 5 years of smoking, if you don't smoke, you will be imbalanced, you will be agitated. That is the time the smoking has become your muscle memory. Now it is like a frozen ice. Water is frozen like ice. If you don't act, your body, your mind will be disturbed. You will be agitated, restless. After 25 years of smoking, now that has become biomemory. Even if you have cancer, you will not stop. No doctor will be able to stop. It becomes biomemory. Understand? When it is just habitual suffering in your day-to-day life, it is called pattern. When it becomes psychological, mental suffering, it is muscle memory. When it becomes physical disease, it is biomemory. Understand? I given you a simple example of smoking, but I can give you millions of examples. Physical suffering, mental suffering. When it is pattern, it's in the initial level. When it becomes mental suffering, it's a muscle memory. When it becomes physical suffering, it becomes biomemory. Samskaras, engrams, originate from the conditioning and the personal experiences you carry. Samskaras generate thoughts and belief systems in you which runs your life. It's like once the samskara gets inside, from inside you are being controlled, pulled, pushed, dragged. I can give you an example. In India, how we term the elephants. India is a country terms largest number of elephants. Even though elephants are there in Africa and all, the art of taming the elephants and using them like a pet. If you go to Kerala, a lot of houses will have their own pet, one elephant. Any of you are from Kerala? And you know, a lot of houses, they will have the elephant as a pet. In India, we mastered the science of taming the elephants and keeping them like a pet. In every temple in south, whether it's a Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, you go, you will see an elephant. You will see an elephant in every temple. If you see how they term the elephant, when it is a small baby, they will tie a rope strong enough to bind the elephant. So that baby will try its best to break the rope. Naturally, it won't be able to break. It will fail. But after it grows, it can easily break the rope. But because of its old engram, that idea it carries, it cannot break. It will never try and it will never break. Many times you can see in your life. When you are a child, if your mother says, don't go in the rains, you will catch cold. After you grow, 25 years after, even though your immune system is very strong now, can handle anything, not only you will not go in the rain, even if you see raining through window, you will start sneezing. The pattern you carry, the samskaras you carry, forms like a negative knot inside you. For example, if you strongly believe you have a samskara, you are allergic to milk. The moment somebody offers you coffee, hey, if I drink this coffee, I will have allergy, I will have stomach pain, I will have loose motion, I may have diarrhea, I may be admitted in the hospital. I think this fellow wants to kill me, that is why he is giving me the milk. The negative pattern, it just spreads. Knots are your negative thinking patterns. It is these knots which are the root cause for your suffering. All your addictions, all your major decisions, Please understand, all your decisions are made out of addictions. I tell you. You don't make any decision spontaneously. Much of your decisions are made out of addictions. When you are agitated, even if a big business offer comes, hey, get lost, I don't need any of this. Your one get lost can make your whole life poor. Sometimes. That is the way. But unfortunately, your mind suffers with those same patterns and tortures itself. This whole 21-day program is all about reprogramming all levels of your samskaras, whether it is a pattern level or muscle memory level or biomemory level. In all three levels, reprogramming your biomemory, your samskaras is the purpose of this program. If you just understand the simple few things, you can make the whole program successful very easily for you, very quickly for you. You can catch it very quickly. If you have a simple feeling connection, please understand, the simple feeling connection, I can do this process easily for you. Please understand. Either you can do it on your own or you can give the contract to me. I can do it for you. I cannot take your contract if there is no feeling connection, and nothing else can make me take the contract. It is feeling connection. Only that can make me take the contract. Please understand. What is feeling connection? Let me explain. Feeling connection means having an open space for me to enter and work inside your patterns. Each field has their own ethics, other than like doctors have some ethics. Every field has their own ethics. Same way, in my field, there are some ethics enlightened beings have to follow. I cannot enter into your inner space and see or do any work unless you permit me. People ask me many times, can't you read my mind without telling? Me telling you. I tell them, no, I cannot. As ethics, I am bound. I cannot look into your inner space unless you request me to. I cannot work on your inner space unless you request me to. Please understand. This 21-day program can happen in a different level. Either it can happen, I can go on teach you kriyas, process, meditation, you can do it on your own. Or you can allow me to do, that can take away almost 80% of your work. Allowing me to do needs one prerequisite, a strong feeling connection, trust. Without that, I can act as I can play the role of a teacher, guru. But when there is a feeling connection, I can play much bigger role. I can just bulldoze and demolish the patterns you carry, which you will take some 25, 30 years to work on and on and on. I can just put few detonators. The initiation is what I call detonators. I can just put few detonators and bombard the whole thing. the feeling connection. Let me describe, give you some example from my own life about feeling connection. When I was completing the third year in the same, now it looks like a town. In those days it was just a beautiful village. This is my hometown where I was born, brought up, lived, and all my leelas happened. Leela Sthana. When I was 3, when I had the third birthday, my father gifted me a small Ganesha, a deity. Those days as a child, I literally felt and strongly believed, had feeling connection. The deities are gods. Understand? It is not statue for me. It is God. So I used to strongly believe, even in the temple, the deities eat food and they are living gods. When I was given this small deity of Ganesha, Ganesha is the son of Shiva. If you are new to Hinduism, I will introduce. Shiva is the largest worshipped god in Hindu tradition. He is supposed to be the head of the pantheon of gods in Hindu tradition. Hindu tradition has something like a 33 crore gods. And I believe that was the population in those days. Each one can have your own personalized, customized god. That's the freedom Hinduism gave for everybody. And Mahadeva, Shiva is supposed to be the head, lord of all the gods, and Ganesha is the first son of Shiva. And I was given the deity of Ganesha, a small deity. I started playing with it, living with it, just like Barbie doll. When you give a Barbie doll to your kids, how they clothe it and bathe it and literally live with it. Morning when I wake up, I'll wake him up from my bed. When I brush my teeth, I'll brush him also. You can still see the deity with a lot of scratches in this area. It's all my brushing. I'll try to brush him with my toothbrush, and when I take bath, I'll give him bath. When I put clothes, I'll give him also clothes and the ashes and the sandal paste, everything. And when I eat, I'll try to make him eat. Of course, food won't go inside, but I'll put the food in the mouth until I eat, eat, eat. You are not eating properly. If you don't eat, you will not grow. Whatever my mother tells me, I used to tell him. And I literally lived with him. Then, of course, in those days, kids will go to school only at the age of 6, so no school. But I'll play with him. He's my playmate. Night when I go to sleep, I'll put him next to my bed. So usually I'll sleep with my mother. My mother will be this side. I'll put him this side and tell, you sleep with your mother, I'll sleep with my mother. And one day I went to the temple. In the temple every day you will see some elderly person will be coming and sitting and telling some story in the temple. There will be some discourse, some satsang, some pravachan. It's a regular lifestyle in this city. Every day somebody will be talking in the temple, giving some discourses, satsangs. One elderly person, he was telling us some story. He was telling a story about how Ganesha ate the food when a saint offered. Let me tell you the story only, then you will understand the whole background completely. There was a elderly man in a village. He used to do temple worship every day to Ganesha. One day he was sick, he did not go to the worship. He sent his son. The son went and offered the food to the Ganesha as usual, but Ganesha did not eat as usual. But this child thought Ganesha usually used to eat. So he forced Ganesha, you please eat, otherwise my father will scold me. Why are you not eating? But Ganesha did not eat. Then this child started hitting his head on the temple wall, saying that if you don't eat, I will commit suicide because my father will scold me, he will not allow me to live. You eat. When the child was trying to commit suicide, Ganesha appeared and stopped the child and ate the food. It's a story. A great saint story. And that child became a great saint. When I heard that story, I was shocked. Suddenly, I felt, then why is this, my Ganesha is not eating? I am being cheated. I ran to the house back. My family used to live just near the temple. I ran to the house back from the temple because I was listening to the story from the temple. Ran to the house back and caught hold of my Ganesha and told him, you have to eat. I tried all my storytelling, everything to Ganesha. He did not budge. He did not eat. Next day I was sitting and thinking, what to do? This guy is not eating. By now I developed the idea is now my Ganesha is adamant. So I was brought up in a large giant family where more than 20-25 kids have grown up together. It's almost like a small nursery. In the house, if somebody doesn't eat, my grandmother will threaten them. I'll throw you in the well. Center of the house used to be a huge well. The house I was born and brought up is almost like 80,000 square feet. I'll show you guys. From this street to that street. And this side to that side. Single house that size. And still there are bits remain in the same way, same old way. The house is almost 300 years old. Center of the house there used to be a well. The grandmother will shout, if you don't eat, I'll throw you in the well. That is the idea clicked with me. I told Ganesha, if you don't eat, I will throw you in the well. Habits. So I started threatening my Ganesha, if you don't eat, I'll put you in the well. So I took up that bucket in which they fetch the water and put the Ganesha and lowered him to the water level. From here I started shouting, hey, eat, otherwise I'll put you in the well. Suddenly I remembered, maybe now he has changed his mind, but I have not put the food inside. So I took him out, put the food and put him, then lowered the bucket to the water level. In that level, I'll move the rope and tell, hey, now eat, otherwise I will drop you in the well. Of course, he was not budging. I also did not have the courage to drop him in the well because he is too much for me. He means really a lot for me. He is my friend, everything. My companion, for play and everything. Of course, he did not budge for that also he did not eat. Then I had the thought, maybe the food he doesn't like my mother's cooking. So I went to the temple, asked the temple priest, whatever they are offering, the same food. They gave the same food. I brought to the house the same food and told him, now you eat. He did not budge. Suddenly, while I was arguing with my Ganesha, it clicked. Hey, That saint, when Ganesha did not eat, he tortured himself. But here, I am torturing Ganesha. How will Ganesha eat? That click. I can say, that click was the turning point in my spiritual life. I decided, I will not eat till he eats. I will not torture him anymore. So I put the food, sat. 2.5 days. As a 3-year-old child, did not eat, sleep, just I'll sit. Even in those days, very stubborn. The will was so strong. Did not eat and sat without eating. It was a very strong experience. I could see very clearly Ganesha appearing, and I fell into a kind of a altered state of consciousness. I could see very clearly Ganesha ate. When I opened my eyes, the plate was empty. Because I know the feeling I had at that moment was so strong. The devotion I had, it is like a experience strengthening the belief. Faith was transformed as trust. That feeling connection gave me the tremendous courage and confidence to begin my spiritual journey. I tell you all, it is feeling connection which gives you the strength to begin your journey. Nothing else. Curiosity can start, but feeling connection only gives you the endurance to go through the journey. The deep feeling connection. When the feeling connection starts, I know, for an educated man, it will look something like impossible. No. Nothing is impossible. Feeling connection is like a new channel in the life. When that opens, life becomes new. Really new. Literally new. When that closes, life becomes dead. So many of my devotees ask me, Swamiji, why these ex-devotees, they put on weight, so much depressed? Even if you know any of the ex-devotees, see them. How they put on weight, lose health, lose grace in the face. Face becomes dull, dead. Because feeling connection is a new channel opens in your life. When you lose that, big wealth is lost in your life. I tell you. I'll give up anything in my life other than feeling connection. Feeling connection with the ultimate. Whatever you see as ultimate in your life, if you see God is the ultimate experience happened in your life, have feeling connection with that. If you see Guru is the ultimate experience happened in your life, have feeling connection with that. If you have feeling connection with anyone, that's enough. Always when you have feeling connection with anyone, other also appears in your life. If you have a strong feeling connection with God, He appears in your life as Guru. If you have strong feeling connection with Guru, He makes you experience God. Sometimes Guru makes you have God in your life, sometimes God makes you have Guru in your life. But both always lead one another. lead you to one another. When the feeling connection starts, the new dimension of your life starts. Even now, while I am doing Nirahara Samyama, you see last, I think 40 days or maybe, I don't know, 2 months from last inner awakening, maybe 2 months, I did not eat. Only last few days, once in a while, some prasadam I started taking in. And that also not regularly. Even now, I tell you, if the body feels like it needs something, just if I repeat just this 2 letters, Shiva, Shiva, that's all. That feeling connection is so much. It just shakes the body. I tell you, feeling connection is the biggest asset in your life. If you can open yourself with the feeling connection, you don't even need to feel like, oh, I am not able to. No. How much ever you can, that's enough. Then I'll enter and start my job. Once I start my job, the feeling connection will increase. Because my journey started with Ganesha, it has become successful. Anything starts with Ganesha, becomes successful. It started properly with Ganesha, it has become successful. Feeling connection is one of the ultimate wealth. Open your heart and open that feeling connection. Then I can easily bulldoze and finish off all the patterns and samskaras you carry and free you just like that. We'll gather for next session. Thank you. Let's gather for next session. Thank you.